welcome back to the second half of Minnesota skyline on 4th of July. That's a good name for this picture. Last week, what we done, let me show you what we done last week, and then you can see what we did, understand what we did. I came in and I just, with a pencil, I just drew a real quick line of what Minnesota may look like with this silhouette. Then I put tape over it. Then I didn't have a X-Acto knife on because I wasn't sure how I was going to use it. So with my pocket knife, I just cut it around the best way how I could. So some of the buildings are crooked. It is an idea. We're not making a perfect painting, just an idea. Let's hope this works. Then I used the colors. We done the explosion of a little bit of fireworks. Then we brought some of the fireworks into the water. Now we're going to do the buildings and finish up the painting there. We're going to use the same paints as what we probably less than what we used last week. But what I have on the palette is titanium white, cadmium yellow, sap green, Prussian blue, fatal blue, permanent rose, fatal green, burnt sienna, and black, ivy black. That's what we've been using. So what I'm gonna start doing is just add some black now to the buildings to make it. It's gonna be some ivy black with some of the fatal blue that we used before. I'm just using a filter brush, and I'm just gonna go into here. Now this is a very dry, there's nothing on this background. I don't have liquid white on it. I don't even have liquid clear on it. This is just black paint on a very dry canvas. So I'm hoping that I could get this painting done since I have nothing else on the brush. The other thing is that if I was using, let's say, Magic Clear, it would have just it would help me to move it a little bit quicker. But this is going to work out. If to be honest, if this is all I could get done today, just the black, the painting will be done. You know, because it's not really the building, it is what's happening beyond the building, and it's what's happening inside the water. And I'm putting the black on very thick. And by putting it on thick, the way how I'm doing it, it needs a little bit of texture to it. You can see or what they will call my brush strokes in it. So now I don't have to go all the way down because, like I said, I am going to have some trees in this too. And then there it is, the bridge that I'm hoping that we could get that in here. If we get the bridge in here, get the trees in here, then the painting will be done. Yeah. Like I said, this is my first time trying something like this. You know, I came to the studio, like I said last week, I came to the studio not knowing what to paint. And then this came up in my mind, why don't I try something like this? And I took it from there. And that's what art is about, is just trying something new, you know. Now, the building is in. There's this light behind. I let a little light here and there. It brings in, it makes something still happening in the background. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my knife. I'm gonna take this part off right here. Where is it? There we go. I'm gonna remove this part here. I'm going to remove this part. If I mess up the bridge, I'm not going to worry too much about it, but the bridge is right there. I still could see a little bit of it. Okay, I'm just going to do it like this. There we go. Good. Now I'm going to clean out, I'm going to take this brush that I had the black in it. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fare this down just a little bit. This way when I put the green over it, you'll be able to see a little bit still of the little bit of the buildings. Just in case if I can't get all the green in, this will help me to get the green in it. There we go. Now I can't use dark green. If I use a dark green here, you won't be able to see it. So I do have to lighten it up just a little bit. The phthalo green is a very watery one. So I'm going to try to see how that looks first. I'm going to take the phthalo green. Then I'm going to add a little bit of the white to it. That's going to be then I'm going to get some sap green and see how that looks. I think the sap green probably will make it look a little bit better. But I don't want it to be too light, and I don't want it to be too dark. Just enough for you to see the outline of some trees. I think we'll be able to see this. There we go. That's all. Doesn't have to be perfect. So we just want to have some trees there coming in. I said, this is it. If we could get all this part done, the painting is done. I'm going to leave some light in between some of these trees, and that will represent some of the fireworks maybe, if you see some of that light. There. There we go. I wasn't sure if this painting was going to look good, but I think I'm going to add some highlights to it. So some of these trees to represent some of this. I'm going to take some of these trees and I'm going to, let's put some of these trees down here inside the water. There. Let's put some of these trees in the water. Now the trees are closer than what the buildings are. So I'm not going to put I was going to think about putting the skylight there in it, but the buildings are so close. The trees are closer than the buildings. So if I just keep it in like that, then I'm going to take a little bit of those colors that we have up on top, like some of those white, and let's add some of that into some of these trees to represent that's some of the highlights here. And then we got some of that yellow. Let's say the yellow's down here. And put some of that yellow up here. Not too much, just enough to put. Then we got some of that whitish, more of the white. That's down on this side, so let's add some of this white up here. And maybe this is in front of the trees too. Yeah. And then we got some white down here. This would break up some of that green, and it will help it to make it look like a little bit of shape more of the trees then. There we go. Let's get some of that red, that permanent red. Now we're just gonna have a little bit of fun. Permanent red will be right here. Put some of that up here. Let's put add a little bit white to that permanent rose. That's permanent rose, I'm sorry. Oh, there we go. Bring some of that down here. Then I'm gonna take my brush and very easy, I'm gonna come down with it. I'm gonna hardly touch it, but just to make it look a little bit more like water, then I'm gonna come across it and move some of this around. There we go. There we go. Now, how much time? I got 12 minutes. I think we could finish this today. The other thing I'm gonna do is to give this building a little bit of shape and different things. I'm gonna try something. Like I'm gonna take a little bit of this white and the permanent rose on my palette knife, and let's say it's right here, right underneath this building. So I'm just gonna highlight a little bit of this top of this building with that color, and then I'm gonna come down with it to make it look like a different building. There. This here and there, I'm not gonna do too much. I'm gonna take some of that greenish color. Where is it? Right here. And right here, I'm gonna come down on this building the same way. Just add a little bit here. Just add a little bit there. That has a little bit of white on it. So let's add a little bit of white coming down. Maybe there's two buildings here. So let's just add a little white here. There, maybe it's a reflection. Maybe there's another part going up. Then we could take a little white down on this one and add a little white right here on this one. Don't have to do all of them. Just enough just to shape up just a couple different buildings. Up here, and come down on this one. Maybe hit this one here because this is real bright here. So let's just add, whoops, that's a little bit. Ooh, I made a boo-boo almost on that. Let's just come down here. And this, since that's so bright there, good. Let's get a little bit of green on this one. Let's say there's a building right here, because there's a little bit here. Let's just come down on this one here. See, we're shaping some of these buildings then. Don't have to do them all. Just enough. Yeah. Let me see what else down here. That could be further away. That could be further away. It's just something to build in some of these buildings. If it's too bright, you could always cut it in with your knife, and then that will pick up some of the other darker colors. That black that's underneath it. See, and then you could just thin it out that way. Now, how much I got almost. Now let's take up this bridge part. Let's see if this is as straight as we could have it. Okay, it's a little crooked. Okay. I could add some trees to that too. And that's what we'll probably do. So to make, I don't want the bridge to be, let me just add some trees to this now. Let's just add some down here. Actually, it'd be better if I just make a straight line. Let's see if that works. Let's get into this sap green. Let's just make this a little straight. Doesn't. Ain't gonna be too straight, but it's gonna be straighter, more straighter than what it was. There. And that bridge goes straight across. There. Now the bridge, if you look at the bridge may be a little thicker than what it should be, but hey, it's 4th of July, everything looks bigger on 4th of July. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the black and a little bit of the white. Let's see, I want to make a nice little grayish. See if that looks good. If that doesn't look good, then we'll try something else. But I think if we just go right across, and this, again, there's nothing underneath this. This is just plain paint on the dry canvas. Now, if this doesn't look good, I could always change this around. That's one thing about being an artist. We're not making a picture. We're making something that looks like what we want it to look like. That means anytime we make a mistake, we could correct it. That's what he means to me. There we go. I'm gonna add some white to it, some green to it. I'm gonna add a little bit of softer white to it too. And that will make it go on a little bit softer, easier. There we go. There we go. Picked up some green in it, and that's be fine. That's fine. Now, this is how we could cheat a little bit. Remember I said that this may be a little too high, too thick. I'm gonna show you what we could do. I'm gonna grab my knife and I'm just gonna pull down on it. Whoops, I don't want green on it. I just want the gray. I could have some there. And I can make some of these reflections, well, since it's picking up the green, let's just keep on doing it with the green. And this will make a little reflection, a little bit of that reflection inside the water. And that will make it look like a little bit more smaller. I could even come up with it, or even pick up a little more green. There we go. There's different ways of straightening things out. There. There we go. Now I'm just going to go straight across it the best I could once more time. And I'm going to go into my powder knife. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this black, what we've done the buildings with. I'm just going to just try to move this a little straighter. This way it will look more like the bottom of the bridge. Maybe it'd be, I don't want to use the brush. I think this brush is This filter brush, they're fantastic. I think I could do a straighter line with that. There we go. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just trying to make it look like the city with the fireworks. There you go. There. And I could even add a little of the darkness up on top. Put a little shadow in it where it doesn't look too straight. There you go. Boy, and we're just about finished with this one. Down here, what I'm gonna do, just gonna take some of this blue, some of this dark blue, and let me see what I have that will look pretty inside the water. Here, if I could just use some of this right here, and let's just add some water lines that represents that big burst. This way it looks more like water then. Remember how I got 2 minutes? Let me thank some of my sponsor, the Thompson Easel Company, Sergeant Pepper's Bar and Grill. I want to thank the Alexander Company. I want to thank Starburst Canvases that with these marvelous canvas that they make. I'm going to just grab my marker right here. I'm just going to sign this one. I want to thank everybody for coming this week. And I hope you'll come back again next week, where we could start a whole new program. Here is, I'm going to put down July 4th of 2015. And with that, I want to thank you. I want to thank all my friends that came to the studio and family that came to the studio and watched the show today. And with that, I'll say goodbye and see you next week. So long.